Hello and welcome to another episode of Big Girl Adventure Life. And you guessed it, we are in interview mode today and we have a beautiful guest again. We have Rachael Gareri from Fat Babes in the Wild. And this group has been growing and growing and has been such an inspiration. But I'm going to let her tell you all about that. Let's bring her on in. Rachel. Hi. All right, everyone. This is Rachel. And you know what? I'm just going to throw the mic to you and let you just tell us just a little bit about where all this came from. Like, who are you?
Absolutely. So my name is Rachael Gareri. I'm 36. I moved out to Colorado from the southeast region of the United States about 4 years ago. And when I got out here, I was really looking forward to go hiking and being out in the outdoors. And then once I tried it, I was like, wow, there's nobody out here that looks like me. I feel like I'm not supposed to be here. I feel like I'm taking up space. I'm like in people's way. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Nature is too beautiful and everyone deserves to experience it. So that night I posted on a group called Colorado Girl Gang, just asking if anyone would be interested in going hiking with me. You know, I really emphasized we're going to take all the breaks and we're going to smell all the flowers and we're going to take hot pictures of ourselves when we feel ourselves in nature.
I
got right.
I love that.
It's such an awesome thing to be able to, like, nature is just so beautiful. Everyone needs to experience it. So I got 160 messages that night, a lot of from people that have lived here their whole lives and they've never been in the mountains, they've never been exposed to it, and they've always wanted to. I've had people with disabilities or recovering from cancer worried about their lung capacity, and like offering like a low stress outdoor activity has just been so needed for this community, and I'm just so happy that I could provide it.
Wow. So before you moved to Colorado, was adventuring a thing, or did the mountains of Colorado inspire this?
Well, down south, we have like hills and stuff. We have the Appalachians, however you say it. Um, and like there's like small hikes, but I was never really interested in hiking until I moved out here. But I've always like grown up swimming. Like in any body of water I could find, I would be swimming. So when I moved out to Colorado, there's not that much water out here. So I took to the mountains instead.
Okay. Yeah, when the mountains call, for sure.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you know it, but I'm out actually from back east also. I'm from Pennsylvania and
Oh,
South Carolina.
very
And
cool.
when I moved out here to Tahoe in California, I just fell in love. Granted, I had that adventurosity before, but it just blew up whenever I got out here.
That's amazing.
So, if you had to say what sparks your adventurosity?
Um, I really think it became when it started when I started this reclamation process with my body. I used to say, I can't do this because I don't weigh below this amount, or I'll do this when I get skinny, or I'll do this when I lose weight. And I was putting off so many things that I actually wanted to live and enjoy. And so it kind of just happened organically once I started reconciling my relationship with my internalized fat phobia and reclaiming my body. It was like, girl, you better get out there and live. And that's really what sparked it.
That is one of the hardest things. And that's why we have Big Girl Adventure Life. I'm here to raise all of those voices, and not just the voices of big time influencers who are already out there climbing huge mountains, but even the small gals that are just they're trying to figure that out, because honestly, it's easy to climb a mountain. It is hard to get over your fat phobia.
So true. So true.
I just did a segment on acknowledging your fatness and went out to the lake and just, I'm fat. And people were like, are you really saying that? I'm like, honey, listen, if you only knew how good that feels to just, honestly, if somebody's looking at you, they know you're fat or they know that you're big.
Absolutely.
So why don't you just know it, accept it, do the healthy things that you need to do, and just live.
Exactly. I used to be so fragile, thinking that nobody knew I was fat and that it was something that I really concealed. But if anyone called me fat or anything, I would shatter and break. And like,
Mm-hmm.
dare you say that to me? Like it was like the worst thing that I could ever be called. But now that I've reclaimed what that means to me and my beautifully designed body, like I I take no offense to being called fat anymore.
Words only have the power that you give to them.
That's exactly right.
That's, I mean, it's as simple as that. They only have the power that you give to them. And when somebody's catcalling or they're, doing these, like saying these awful things to some of these women that are just out there trying to exercise, or not even exercise, but just enjoy nature. Um,
Existing. Yeah.
yes. Uh, Whenever they get a rile out of you, or you're giving them the power, take that away from them.
Exactly.
Like, but it takes a lot. So that's what we're here to help people get through that.
Right.
Okay, so we've talked a little bit about you're getting over your fat phobia. Do you have any tips on what really worked for you for acknowledging that, or maybe an instant? And I hate to bring these up, but an instance that it was like, you know what, this is crap. I'm not dealing with this anymore. Just so people can know, hey, I'm not the only one that this happened to.
Exactly. So I've suffered a lot of abuse for being fat in past relationships and family relationships and friends. And like once I got here to Colorado, I really started my healing journey. I started doing trauma therapy because I noticed like I was having issues, feeling fragile all the time, and I didn't want to feel that anymore. And so we really dissected that in therapy, where those wounds are coming from. And a lot of it comes from, you know, I wasn't fat as a child until I was in third grade. And that's when the comments started coming in. And that's when I started being made aware that my body was wrong. And the trauma that comes with that is just, it's a deep core wound. And I feel like you've got to heal it. You've got to acknowledge it. And, when you were a child, you might have taken on coping mechanisms. For me, mine is food scarcity. So I hoard food because I was one of 8 kids, and we were really poor. My mom put a padlock on the pantry, and if she brought home fruit roll-ups, that was like a rare thing. There's only 6 fruit roll-ups in a box, and there's 8 kids. So if you didn't like get it right then, you were never gonna get it. And so like through therapy, I learned tools, like to change my mindset of no longer needing those survival skills that I learned when I was a child to save my life. Like my body literally saved my life. It gave me different coping mechanisms like eating for comfort or hoarding food instead of killing myself. I'm so grateful and appreciative to my body for doing that. And so now I really affirm this is my body and this is what it looks like. Whenever those feelings come in of your body is wrong, or you shouldn't exist, I'm like, this is my body and this is what it looks like. And it has carried me these 36 years, and I'm going to love it and not hate it anymore. And it's really been so much more peaceful.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anytime you're talking about trauma or in a traumatic story, it hits Even if you've gotten through it, it still hits. So thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that with us. Um, so one last hurtful, and then we'll get on to the fun stuff. Um, so what do you think your biggest struggle now that you've gotten through all of that, now that you are confident? I think you're confident, even if you don't think you are. I think that you're confident in yourself and out hiking. So as a plus size person out in the wild, as a fat babe out in the wild, what do you think your biggest struggle is?
I still have issues with taking up space. I still find myself making myself small. Like when I'm walking somewhere, I always move out of the way. Like no matter what, because in life I'm so used to like make yourself non-existent, because if you were in existence, people would have a problem with you. But so I'm trying to be aware of those times when that happens, when I make myself small. Like that's the big thing, is being aware when these emotions or these triggers happen, and then using the tools that I've learned in therapy to like make peace with it. Like when I'm feeling small, it's like, Rachel, you deserve to take up just as much space as they do. Do not feel anxiety about this. They're not feeling anxiety about this. Take up your space. And then, like, with the fat phobia, the internalized fat phobia that I have, like, I'll catch myself saying, like, these negative things, like, you should not be eating that, or something like that, like old stories that I used to tell myself when I was really caught up in hating my body. Those still slip in from time to time, but if I'm present and aware of it, I can catch it and alchemize it into something else by like recognizing it and saying, Rachel, these thoughts are not true. Be kind to yourself. Food, if you're hungry, eat. All food is good food. Like there are no bad foods.
Good for you. Okay, so we're done. We're done with all the bad. Let's talk about the exciting. You have this beautiful group of I'm not going to say women, because it's just there, because there's at least one guy, and maybe some others, and then so this diverse group of fat babes in the wild. And you're doing different activities, so it's not just hiking. I've seen you have beach day, which is amazing. How did that go?
Oh, it was so awesome. We went to this reservoir here in Colorado, and it's accessible to everyone, handicap accessible, everything. And it was just so nice to get out there and reclaim our bodies and reclaim our space. Like I encourage people, wear whatever you're comfortable in, but also if you've been waiting to wear like a bikini or a scandalous suit, like wear it, because you're in a safe space with us. And it's just been amazing. We have on the Facebook group, I want to say we only have like one male identified person, but we have lots of non-binaries, predominantly women, but a lot of times women bring their husbands to the events with them, because they're fat too, and fat men are oppressed too. Mm-hmm. So everyone's welcome.
Perfect. Well, what about your favorite adventure? Can you tell us about your favorite adventure? Is there just one?
Oh gosh. Oh man, I'm blanking on this. I have so many great adventures. But I'll say we went on this hike in Colorado Springs. I'm just pulling this out of my head. We went on this hike on Colorado Springs, and I had someone there that used to be a former athlete, had stage 4 cancer, hasn't been up into the mountains, hasn't done anything like active because they were so scared they were not going to be able to do it. And after the hike, they were so empowered. They were like, I didn't think my body could do this. And now that I know, I just need to take my time. It's just like, I'm going to be out here all the time. And it really is so special to have this space where people can explore that without feeling like they're a burden or stressed out or anything like that. And I love that we provide that.
Isn't it one of the most amazing gifts that your hike is not about you anymore? You know, it's about another person. It's about the person that's in the back. It's about the person that just has secluded themselves off from the group. It's yeah, it's so I glow when I talk about coaching or whenever I talk about my adventures with people. I glow, and it's not because of me. It's because of all the energy that's happening with that amazing experience for that other person.
Yeah, yeah, it's really wonderful. It's powerful. And I always tell my group, like, because everyone in the group is welcome to create events, but I'm like, never plan an event that you wouldn't do by yourself. Like, if nobody came, would you still do it by yourself? If so, then plan it. If not, don't plan it.
Mm-hmm. Um, well, what kind of gear do you like to use for your hikes, or just in general?
Um, well, right now, I am loving my Columbia hiking boots. I got them off Amazon. I think they're like $80. They're nice and comfy and roomy, and I have wide feet, and they have been like so functionally great and supportive throughout all my hiking. Also, another outdoor activity, I like to lay in my hammock, and I have one of those Eno 2-person hammocks. So the weight limit is 500 pounds. And I love stringing that up and laying by a lake or any kind of body of water. It's just so relaxing.
Gorgeous. I can just imagine that. Oh, I haven't got to lay in a hammock in so long.
Oh,
Oh,
it's wonderful. You got to get one.
yeah. I just have to make extra room because I have two littles. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, so there's no relaxing by the lake time. But as for the Columbia gear and boots, I've always been, I don't want to say a sucker, but I've always been a sucker for Columbia gear. I don't know why. I feel comfortable in it. I had a fleece zip up forever. I mean, this thing was so raggedy because it was too comfy and I couldn't get rid of it because I could never find one that was the right size. But now that they're extending more sizes and making things more accessible. When I say more accessible, it's still ugh. But we're working on it, and together, the more we get our voices out there, the more that's going to happen. So we need to buy the gear. We need to make it heard that we want the gear, and
Yeah. And we need allies in the thin community too, because or those that exist in with thin privilege, because like if you really care about fat people and fat people getting healthy, then you should be yelling at these fashion companies, these transportation companies, medical companies to say, hey, there's a whole population that you're excluding that actually wants to use your stuff.
mm-hmm.
So,
Okay. So last bit. Any tips that you can give to plus size gal that wants to get out and adventure, or maybe she doesn't even realize that she wants to get out and adventure yet?
um, I would say definitely, go out in nature. Don't put any limits or expectations on yourself when you first go out there. Like, don't be like, I'm going to do this 3-mile hike and it's going to be awesome. Listen to your body as you're outdoors and listen to what it can take and what it can't take. Are you experiencing pain? Like, it's really important, mind, body, and spirit. You're healing your relationship with your body while you're in the outdoors. So it's just so important to listen to your body while you're out there.
Perfect. I'm also going to add, find a buddy.
Yes.
Don't do this alone, especially if you do have those possibilities of medical issues. Don't go alone, and know some things before you go. We'll be posting all of those things in Big Girl Adventure Life, and we'll have some guides for you as we go along. But until then and after then, please just be safe out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, Rachel. Oh my gosh, it was so great to meet you. I look forward to just following you and seeing. And if I ever get out to Colorado, you best believe that I'll be gumming on one of your excursions. And if you ever come out here to Tahoe, you better hit me up so that we can go on an adventure out here. I will be putting all of your socials so everybody at Big Girl Adventure Life can connect with you, especially our Colorado girls. Oh, well, our Colorado everybody.
Yeah. Babes. Everyone can be a babe.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I will say I am traveling a lot starting in September, and I'm taking the message of Fat Babes in the Wild with me everywhere I go. So I'll be posting as I get to the towns, offering events and meetups. So I could be coming to a town near you soon. So keep a lookout.
Perfect. Go ahead and hashtag Big Girl Adventure Life too, so that we can keep track of your travels and share that.
You got it.
All right, Rachel, we're going to sign off, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again soon.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.